Hey guys, this is Alex. I hope you watched the last video where we picked a Mul-T-Lock, and I did it in significant part with this Mul-T-Lock pick set from Souber tools, which I finally got a hold of off of a Canadian website. It was referred to me by one of my loyal viewers. I have this Peterson pick here just for size comparison. So it comes in a little case. It's made out of pleather, I think. And so here's the contents. It also comes with instructions, which are not bad, but I don't have them over here. So you get, I think, these 5 picks. Actually, one is double, so 5.5, and 4 tension wrenches, which we'll talk about in a minute. So I'm going to set the tensors over here. So all of these picks are made of sort of a flat sheet metal. I actually never measured it, but it's pretty thin. I'm going to guess it's about 0.25 inches, if I can get my mic to I'm good. 0.25 or I think that's 508. No, 0.62 millimeters, 0.62 millimeters. And they're cut, and it's probably hard to see in the video, but and I'm not going to try to zoom like crazy. So I thought I'd give you a close-up of the pick blades. Here they are in this orientation, and here they are. If you flip it over, and I hope you can see that sort of knife edge on there. And here's the other end of the double-ended one. Let's see if we can get closer. There we go. So you can hopefully you can see the knife edge on that. Okay, and then the curvy one. Where'd he go? There he is. Get it in focus. There he is. So you can see it's kind of got a little curve to it. It's not quite fitting in frame, but here we go. And that reaches up and gets inside those center pins. But there's basically a bevel on the leading and trailing edge, and also the tip of each of these picks. Every single one of them has it. And it's really nice because it makes it kind of like a wedge shape, a knife shape, so that as the if your pin is here like this, as the pick comes in, if you can imagine the section of the pick, it's coming in kind of like this, right? And then the handle would be out here, right? But it's coming in like this, so the bevel sort of helps reach up and lever up the pin, kind of like using a diamond. I like that design. This one here has a little half moon cut out in it. I presume to try to nail the outer pin without touching the inner pin. I don't know how useful that is. A couple of smaller ones. This one has a little hook, and I used on it, and I used that to lift up the center pins. Another flat one, and this one in particular is double-ended, which hopefully, yes, it does show up. So in principle, you can pick it and get the center pins with the thinner end and get the outer pins with the big end. So one negative comment that I would make is that I was talking about that knife shape that the picks have. Now granted, they are designed for Mul-T-Locks, but the knife edge is on one side, one face of the pick. The other face is dead flat, and they're all set up so that the flags work in this direction from the right. So if you did have a lock where the pin stack was on the left, so if this is the keyway, is that on frame? Yeah, this is the keyway, right? And the pins were here, right? Which they are in some locks. These would not work from the left. You'd have to run them in from this side, which is not the worst thing in the world, but I prefer running on along the edge of the keyway if I can, because it keeps everything straight. Okay, whereas these want the pins to be here. Can't draw for shit. But these want the pins to be here, and then they go in this way under the pins. And that little knife edge scoops under there. So, you know, little criticism, no big deal. Obviously it'll work if this one is inverted. You still end up on the thing. But with the if the pins are on the left, you're out of luck. So, so not as versatile as I would like, but so it goes. Picks are nice. The handles are plastic. Nothing special. I wouldn't mind if the whole thing were a little bit longer. The blades are very short. When you get in deep in the keyway, you are right up to the shoulder. Now that's because if it were a lot longer, this thin metal would just twist too much. This thin metal would just twist too much. Sorry about that. So I think that that's intentional, but so you may not be able to pick a deeper lock like a Garrison with these because they're just too short. They are designed for the Mul-T-Lock series of the coaxial locks to pick those. But the handles are plastic. They're, you know, they're hard. Good feedback. I had a little trouble maintaining orientation because there's very little flat here. It took a while to get used to it, to figure out exactly where level was and where up was. On some of the other picks, you have a wider flat area here that you can rest your finger on the index off of. But there's enough, you know, after about a half hour, I worked it out. I have not done any modifications to these. If you see any kind of like wear, it's just the bluing or the lacquer or whatever worn off. They are a little bit rough. One or two of them were a little bit rough on the back, but in general they don't have any super sharp corners. The little knife edges are sharp, but that doesn't seem to cause any problems. Finished pretty well out of the factory, and for as much as you pay for these, it's like 50 or 60 bucks for 4 or 5 picks. They better be. So fit and finish is quite good, and they have this little like black paint on them. I assume they're just regular spring steel, but let's just see. Yeah, so they're probably carbon steel. Okay, so that's the picks. I like them. I haven't tried them on a whole lot of other dimple locks, but it did get that Mul-T-Lock open. I've been working on that one for a while, so report back on that. And here they are in comparison to Peterson. So they're standard size, a little bit shorter. You can see the blade is probably half an inch shorter. Okay, and then the part that I really kind of could care less for, these are the tension tools that come with it. I'm going to lay them this way if I can. So there's one that's twisted, there's that one, it's got a normal flat one, here's a smaller, twisted the other way, and another one. You'll notice that I think they're all the same width, they're from the same type of metal. It's a very, very bendy metal, very flexible. And the tip of these, hang on one second. Here's that Mul-T-Lock I was working on. You'll probably notice I didn't use these. If you get them in here, they just barely catch. And if you kind of get them in the wrong spot, they don't catch at all. But I really didn't like these for tension. And in a couple other locks I played with, these don't even, they just spin out. So I mean, they are usable, but I tend to like something with a lot less give in it. Even the one that's not bent is still, you can see how much that flexes. I ended up using this tool, and I don't know what set this came from, but it's a nice big fat thing, and it grabs, and it's dead solid. I mean, you feel every little click in there. So the tensors I could do without, but I have a gajillion tensors, so these will probably come in handy for something. Anyway, so Souber pick set. I'd give the picks a good rating. I think they're overpriced, but I think they are good picks. And if you're doing Mul-T-Locks, you know, they're not going to fly open. They're good locks, but they certainly are the right size and proportion to get in there and nail things if you're patient. And they do come in a pretty little black case with Souber written on it. You'd think you could do real leather for $50, $60, but anyhow, I suspect they're made in Britain, but I'm not sure. So that's it. So I'd say I'm happy with the purchase. Haven't broken any of them yet. Probably will, but you know. And the construction gives me ideas for making my own. So I like it. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Alex. As always, have fun and please keep it legal. Cheers.